Good, and again, keep pushing that knee forward over the toe. Good. Feel how that foot's dropping now? Yeah, perfect. With Eden throwing orthotic devices, just she was having feet trouble, which is, that's cool. I haven't got anything against those. But what we've sort of found with the amount of work that she's doing in them, it's created almost like a very stiff foot. Now, with her foot, with being very stiff, all it's doing is just putting a lot more emphasis and load in through the Achilles and then in through her knee as well. So her knee's been getting real sore. Typically, that's part of what happens when you're an athlete like Eden and move how she does. So she's what's often referred to as more of a bounder. Yep, so she's moving fast. She likes to be in the air, hit the ground and pop, hit the ground and pop, hit the ground and pop. Very reactive, very poppy. So with that strategy, with that reactiveness, we do need some compliance through the foot, which is essentially getting some, I guess, more shock absorption through the foot, and then she can spring back up, to use some very broad terms. So we're basically just trying to get her foot just to absorb that load a little bit better than it currently is, because when it's very stiff, it's just even more load through what she's probably overusing with her current workload anyway. So just using a wedge under the foot, which wants to tip her onto the outside edge of her foot, so supinating. We actually want her to kind of pronate through the entire foot more. So she's moving that knee forward and pressing down into the bottom of the wedge and trying to get some rotation and movement through the foot there, okay? Just to get that compliance, that yielding that we want. Today, with her knees probably feeling a bit better after what we've done so far, she's been doing some depth jumps rather than drop jumps. So with a drop jump, you hit the ground and come up real quick. With a depth jump, we're slightly higher. The landing is going to be longer, so more time on the ground, more time to try and yield and press into that shock absorption mechanism before she pops up again, just to get some loading through her legs today. Now we've got a little bit more compliance happening through the foot. It's looking a bit better for today. So now we're just using an isometric hold. So she's pushing that forward, going to stay tall. She's going to try and push that big toe, that whole foot into the wedge and go again. So we're going to try and hold there for 30 seconds. Yeah. Okay, all right, good. You feel that foot's really having to work to keep you balanced, yeah? There we are, there. Feel that? Yeah, cool. What I want you to think about, Eden, is get that in, but keep the knee over here. Otherwise, we're just using the leg to push everything forward. We want the foot to do the work, yeah? Yeah. Okay, cool. Good, so we're gonna press in there, get that knee over, so now it's, there we are. See how you gotta work now in the foot, yeah? So making her foot do a bit more work, drop a touch lower if you can. And again, she's really tempting for Eden just to shove the knee inside to drop into that medial side of the foot, but I wanted to keep her knee relatively neutral and use the foot to press in as well, just to utilize some of these foot muscles a little better and come up from there.